think that's worked, right? Has it? Yes, it has. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live stream. Yeah, a little bit more ATS, American Truck Simulator. Some more Return to Winterland 2024 event deliveries. So yeah, the event is going to end tomorrow. So we'll do final 3 today. Maybe a few more. We'll see how much time there is, but definitely 3. And yeah, basically. Hello, raining. Yes, it is raining in game. Hello. It isn't actual rain, but yeah. Hello, Moni Mahogany. Welcome. Yes. So in the players tonight is of course myself. Hello, CangoFango. Yeah. We've got Evie as well. Hello. And we've also got Sharadise in voice chat.
Boo.
Hello. Right, so quickly switch scenes so you can actually see the game as well. Here we are. San Francisco. That's a lovely town. Especially now they've reworked it. Back in 1.50? Yes, 1.50. Right, so I guess I shall pick a job, and then Blue, you can accept it once I have. Sorry, that's the wrong view, hold on. It's Return to Winterland, browse contracts. Do mountain resort. Actually, yeah, why not? That's fun, that's a fun one. Christmas beverages, sorry?
Usually everything else is preferable.
Really?
Yeah, I mean usually it's only picked as a last resort.
I see. I'm wrong. I see. Well, we'll see. Hopefully I will be able to hear you as well later on, but no worries if not. There's always other times as well.
Look, it's raining and sunny.
Yeah, it's raining. Yeah, just look at that. Okay, so I've now accepted a contract.
Did you read the fine print?
Nah, I didn't bother with it. But yeah, accepted it. So you should be able to as well. Can't see you, probably because you're on the depot premises. But yeah, once you exit it, your truck should pop in. I'll have a little look. So, according to the minimap, Blue is right here. Right here. But yeah.
Maybe see if Blue's typing something on Discord?
Yeah. Sorry, no desk space for mouse, so it takes an eternity. And the wheel goes mad. Oh, I see. No worries. I'll just turn around. Hello! Hello there! Okay, so 5 in-game miles to the pickup location.
Oh no!
Yeah. Also, this is the truck I'm driving is the Peterbilt 351 by Smarty, which you may recognize from the movie Duel. I mean, technically that was a 281 for most scenes, and the 351 was just used for like add-on scenes where they wanted to. It was actually made for a TV movie, and it then got so successful that they actually wanted to have it like theater length. Sorry. I wasn't sure if we were going then or not. But yeah, they had to like have more scenes in the film for it to be theater length. So in the add-on scenes, because
oh, that's why they've got all those bathroom scenes in there.
theater length? What do you mean?
Yeah, just extend the runtime. Never mind.
Okay. Oh, I see. But yeah, so in the added spoilers for Duel, 1971 Duel, if you haven't seen it, in the movie.
Yeah, pause the stream now.
I mean,
watch the movie, and then catch us back live.
Basically, without spoiling too much, they couldn't use the truck they used for the actual movie. They couldn't use that for the add-on scenes because they already filmed the ending of the movie. So they used a similar truck, a 351 with like power, both like dual axles on the rear powered, which is the difference because the 281, yeah, wasn't. Anyway, they used a different truck.
Why do you tease people with spoilers and then not give any actual spoilers?
Yeah. I thought the only way to explain it was to spoil it, but then I thought, hey, I could also not spoil it, but still say what I wanted to say. So anyway, but yeah, so in the add-on scenes they used a different truck, which was a 351, and they both look identical. It's just the 281 with tag axle doesn't have the tag axle powered on the very rear. 351 does. And that's basically the only difference. Because they dressed it up all the same way. It's just, if you know where to look, you can see it, but just casual watchers of the movie won't see it. I don't think I even noticed when I watched it. So yeah. Also here, there's this park on the right side here. And before they reworked San Francisco, the road going around it used to be accessible. Sorry. Yeah, the road around... Oh yeah, that's crashed. That other lorry's crashed, it won't go. Best to go around it. If it turns red, don't worry, just go through. But yeah, what I want to say, yeah, the road going around this park, it used to be accessible in ATS before San Francisco got reworked in 1.50, because like some of San Francisco was just reskinned basically, where it was just like the main layout of the city was kept for the most part, but they just changed a few things and improved them. But this bit, for example, is pretty much the same from before. But for some reason, in the rework, they blocked it off. So you can't go around the park anymore. Even though the road's still there, it's just blocked off. So I put in a suggestion on the SES forums suggesting, well, firstly asking why access was removed from it. They just moved the blockers. So you can't go back there anymore, but the road still exists. So the suggestion was for it to become accessible again. And also asking why it was made inaccessible in the first place, because I really don't get why they would remove a road that's still in the game, but just not make it accessible anymore. Just don't get that. So hopefully at some point they'll either explain why they made it inaccessible, or better yet, they just make it accessible again. But yeah.
Do you have the automatic anti-slip on?
I think I've switched off. Also, if we turn right here, there's a hidden road. Blue, I'm not sure if you're... Are you AFK or are you here?
If you're AFK, please let us know that you're not here.
Yes, please.
I can do one better.
Hello!
Ah, it speaks!
Hello. Sorry about that. Longest wait ever.
No
Hello.
worries. Good to hear you again.
And you. Right, let's get going.
Yeah,
Sorry, it's lagging a bit badly, so my driving's a bit messy.
I think it's the rain.
Maybe
Right,
turn
we
the rain
go
off
right
until you
here.
get to...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the rain isn't too bad. I think it's just the computer in general.
Well, I think, when it's raining, it does add reflections to the road, which add processing time.
Possibly.
May depend on your settings as well. I'm not sure if it does for low settings, but yeah.
It could also just be that I'm very tired, so just driving like a maniac because of it.
Oh, that's all right.
So you've got 3 deliveries to go, yes?
Yes.
Yes, just 3. I spent all of Sunday last week going
Yeah.
through.
You'll get the accessories.
I better do.
Also, right in front of us, there's Lombard Street. We can't go down it, but they have like the back like the sort of slalomy road in San Francisco, and they have if you've got the dev cam enabled. Sorry, it's fine. If you have the dev cam enabled, you can fly back there, and they did like a forced perspective thing, where the city, if you look like in the distance, the city on the right, that's like a lot smaller. So it's not actual scale, but they just made it smaller so it looks further away. But yeah, they did the same thing in one of the German city reworks in ATS 2. I think it was Mannheim. I'm not exactly sure. It was one of the recently reworked cities. Did the same kind of thing. But yeah.
Also, did you know that at one point in the past, New York had a cable car system imported from San Francisco?
Sorry, are you asking me or Kango?
Well, you.
Or both? No, I did not know. Sorry, I was in the middle of turning down the audio so I could actually hear you all.
Ah, right.
Oh yeah, I mean, I didn't know before you told me a couple months ago.
Yeah, because there are old black and white photographs of that.
That's fun. There's a cable car, look! Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to brake, it's fine. I don't know why that happened, I'm sorry. But yeah, they also remade that model when they reworked San Francisco. And there's, on the left, the tracks go to a turntable where one of the termini is for the cable car.
Are they
route.
DJs?
DJs?
Yeah.
DJs.
The turntable for the disc.
Oh yeah. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back.
Is this where we get the
Hold on.
from?
I'll
Yes,
be right.
this is where you collect the trailer.
Yes, I'll be right back.
1 second.
Okay.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that.
No worries.
That is alright. Okay. Sure, yeah, so this is where we pick up the Christmas beverages.
From Eddie's,
Indeed.
not Mott's.
Is that what it's called in real life?
No, it was a reference to when we were on the bus.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Exactly. The good old tire repairs.
Mm-hmm. Also, we can't collide with each other here, so that's... yeah.
Bit of drag racing. Sorry, this wheel is so loud. I should probably stop turning it before I speak.
No worries.
But believe me, it annoys me probably more than it annoys you.
Most definitely.
I agree, yeah. It definitely does, because it doesn't annoy me. But yeah.
I mean, I'm not expecting it to be dead silent, but I don't expect it to be that loud.
Yeah.
I also don't expect it to try and take my fingers off when I go into a menu.
I think that's a reasonable expectation from a steering wheel.
Yes, I think so too.
It would be funny taking like a soundbite of that and using it in a whole bunch of different contexts.
TARDIS scene where it dematerializes. But yeah.
Oh, you've got a European flag on your truck.
What, me or Kango? Because
You.
Do I?
Yeah,
On your
European
fenders,
flags.
on your fenders.
Oh, let's have a look.
On both.
It's been so long since I've actually taken a look at the truck. Oh,
On-
I do.
On both sides, yeah.
Ah, you can tell where I'm from.
European Union.
Yes, most definitely the EU, not at all a country that exited the E EU.
Hold on, I need to set the waypoint.
Yeah, do you want to just give me directions and then I'll follow you?
Yeah, can do.
Because if I go into the map, it will make the wheel go
Yeah,
crazy
sure.
and sorts,
Of course.
which I enjoyed on Sunday when I was doing it by myself.
Mm.
I don't really get why it can't set the waypoint. Well, at least in Winter Wonderland, it should certainly set the waypoint for you.
Yeah,
So
I
whether
guess.
you choose to follow it or not is another thing.
I guess it's because there's multiple portal locations, so they just want you to
Well, yeah,
choose
but
whichever you
there
want.
are also, if you're going to a certain city, there are multiple off ramps. It's more of a guidance than a telling you where to go. I mean, I get your reasoning,
Yeah.
and I also see some people want to explore, but it's also some people just want to get it over and done with.
Yeah, true.
And so they should just say this is the nearest one. Go to it if you want, and if you want to take your own route, then that's up to you.
Yeah, that's true.
Or at least have an option to set that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Mona Mahogany used a fancy exclamation mark.
Yeah, white, like
Fancy how so?
It's like a big, bold exclamation
it's
mark.
a grey exclamation mark emoji instead of a character.
Oh right, I know the one.
Oh yeah.
You know
Twice the
it.
shouting.
You know it intimately
I know it well.
Also, so in San Francisco there's of course buses. There, I think trolley buses as well in real life, but in game there's cable cars and trams. Before the rework, so there's the tram bit. Before the rework, the tram was just a static object without an interior, just placed somewhere along along the rails, and the rails just ended abruptly as well. But in the rework, they actually made it a proper train where they would actually move around in like a proper like tram system. So yeah, maybe we'll see one of those as well before we exit the city, but we'll see.
Nice one.
Oh yeah, back there. All the way in the distance on the right.
On the right?
On the right.
Well, to the left of us, but on the right track, I mean.
Oh.
Alright, I probably can't see it because
Well,
you're in front.
We'll pass
Either that or
it.
just my eyes aren't very good.
No worries.
It's
We're,
tired.
The track's gone.
Yeah.
Actually, I've lost them.
It's topped by the... yeah, it's on the left.
it's just in front of us now.
Yeah, now it's going.
Oh right, I see it. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's another thing of being tired. Is just you can see, but you're not focusing.
Difference between seeing and perceiving.
Yeah.
To quote Sherlock Holmes.
Really?
Well, at least Michael Caine's version of Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, sorry.
Boop.
It was like in a cartoon where the rearmost one rams the one in front, and then they all ram each other because they're just in one line. Yeah, that traffic isn't gonna go, I think.
Okay, somebody get the snowplow.
I would as well if I could.
Did you have snow earlier this week down your way?
Nope.
No.
We did on. Was it Tuesday or? Oh, sorry, I turned off push the tool. That doesn't help. It was either Tuesday or Wednesday we had it. What the hell are you doing, Kango?
Trying to get through.
Well, the cars crashed, so they wouldn't have gone. Probably.
Yes, I see. Someone in that brown car is having a very good time.
Yeah.
Just squeeze through. Excuse me.
Oh wait, they are going. Oh well, the front ones are.
Oh, what is that blue car doing? Yeah, it was Tuesday or Wednesday. I think actually Wednesday. It doesn't really matter. One of those days. It was. Yeah, I think it was Wednesday because Tuesday it snowed a bit in London, not much, but for like 10 minutes. And I came home and I said, "Oh, did it snow down here?" And they said no. And then the next day I was in London. It was freezing. It didn't snow, and I got halfway home. I got a call and saying, "Oh, you should be careful when you walk home. It's been snowing all day." And so that was quite exciting. But because I So the day before, no, sorry, can't get my story straight. On the same day, the morning train was cancelled, and I thought, well, I don't want to be late and then leave late, so I decided to speed walk and get the earlier train.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I think that was Tuesday. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's all just days.
Yeah.
So I got the earlier train, and so I could leave earlier, and I just about got the earlier train home. But because it was the earlier one, it didn't stop at Preston
We need
Park.
to turn left too.
Yeah.
Oh, turn left. Okay. Do you want to pop in front?
Okay.
There you go.
Preston Park. Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't stop at Preston Park, and I didn't want to go all the way to Brighton because if it had been snowing, then it would have, what I'd earned getting the earlier train, I would have just lost having to walk precariously.
Yeah.
So I decided to change at Haywards Heath and get a Thames Link. I had about. Do you want to go, car? No. Okay. Yeah, I had about 10 minutes. Oh, now you do want to go. Gosh, make up your mind.
You honked at it.
Well, I flashed my the fog lights.
Yeah.
To go first. Maybe it's not like Omsey. Yeah, changed at Haywards Heath. Waited 10 minutes, but it was snowing quite a bit there. So that was a bit nice. But by the time I got to Brighton, because everyone gets off the train, all the snow had turned into ice essentially. With all the
You mean like
walking.
slurry as well?
Yeah. And then once I got past the bit where all the people getting off the train go, I got to the bit where the 5 schools intersect, and so obviously all the school children had been doing the same thing, and so that was also a hazard. There's also some it's like an alleyway, but it's wide steps between 2 roads, and like in the past when I used to go up there all the time, it was always quite dangerous when it was slippery. So I was expecting that to be the hardest part. It was actually the easiest part.
Oh.
But yeah, that was my my story getting home.
Yeah.
Not an interesting one, but a story nonetheless.
Well, any story involving snow is interesting.
Yeah, but by the time I got off the train, it had more turned into rain.
Oh yeah. Although, saying that, we do... I was just walking around the neighborhood a couple weeks ago. I think this is sort of like... I can't remember now. I think it was like the 17th of December, something like that. I did actually see a couple of snowflakes, just tiny ones, just in the wind. And it was blue sky above me, so they must have like blown sideways or something. But I saw a couple of snowflakes for like 10 seconds or something, they were gone again.
Maybe you should set a waypoint.
But you haven't had any snow at all this winter?
No, apart from that, no snow. Not down.
I'd expect it more down your way than up here.
Like in Dartmoor or something, yeah, there is snow. Like I have heard that there's snow, but it's just on the coast there just isn't.
Yeah, well, I guess that's probably the same reason why it doesn't snow much here.
By the way,
Yeah,
we're turning right and then left.
Yeah, my route advisor has updated here.
Ah, good.
It's just to the portals where it doesn't go.
Okay.
Have I lost you though? Are you?
I'm behind you, but it's fine. I'm catching
behind
up.
me. Okay. If I could see a thing outside. Oh, I've opened the window again. Yeah, if you want to go, well, if you want me to stay in front, I'm happy to do that. If you want to go in front, I can just stop for a second.
That's all right. You can go in front.
Okay. Yeah, we were seeing snow. Yeah, it's always forecasted to snow here, and then it never does, so you never believe it.
Yeah. I get that as well sometimes, where the weather forecast would just say, yep, there's going to be snow on Thursday. And then, yay, there's going to be snow on Thursday. Then once like Wednesday rolls around, it's like, nah, just kidding.
Moni Mahogany says...
I know it's a prediction.
Yeah.
Moni Mahogany
you
says...
sort of... Sorry, you go, Sharadise.
Says warm Gulf Stream. Probably referring to
I don't play golf.
Well, probably referring to the actual like ocean stream, like the Gulf Stream that brings the warm water from the Gulf of Mexico, I think, which increases the temperature here, but probably not referring to a live stream about playing golf while warm, even though that would be quite funny. Please resume.
Well, yeah, I was just saying that I know it's predictions.
Yeah.
But to an extent, I feel like you sort of know if it is going to snow. And so just saying, oh, it's definitely going to snow tomorrow, and then it never does for years and years on end. It's getting a bit boring now. Because you get excited, you go, oh, snow.
Yeah.
Although now, for me, it's like, oh no, snow, does that mean the trains aren't going to be running? All sorts.
Yeah, when it did last snow here, like back in 2018, like March, sort of.
Well, you haven't had snow for 6 years?
No.
Not properly.
Oh. Well, I mean, I think we had some last year. I mean, we don't usually get it that it sets, but we have a fair bit of snow over the years.
Like 7 years ago now.
Back in 2021 or 2, one night there were a few flakes of snow for like 10-15 minutes that very slightly settled, but that was it.
And I didn't see that.
And that was back like 3 or 4 years ago.
That was Turkey, right?
I think so.
I wasn't there. But yeah, sorry. Don't know what. Yeah. I want to say, 2018 when it did snow, they would proper snow, like actual proper snow. the bus network and stuff like that, they just pretty much shut down. Like no one's prepared to deal with snow here, and when it does snow, they just we can't deal with this.
Yeah, we had the same thing. All the buses were abandoned. I mean, it makes sense because obviously less traction, and especially on modern buses where they're a lot less powerful, it's more just dangerous.
Yeah, you should install snow chains.
Well, I suppose yes, but then you've got to know that the snow's going to be coming for certain, because you're sending the bus out at 6 in the morning, and it doesn't come back until 10 or 11 in the evening sometimes. Yeah. So you really have to be on top of it. And also because I guess in a bus company it's got to be the engineers who fit it. You can't just give it to the drivers.
That's true.
So that's another aspect.
Also, why are modern buses less powerful?
Θέλω they're just made cheaper, I suppose, or weight saving as well. That's a huge aspect to it. But for example, Volvo's double deckers, I don't know if they still. Well, they don't make the B5 anymore. They make the B8, which is 8 litre, which would be powerful. Well, I suppose the power is not down to how many litres it has. I don't know much about engines, but typically the more capacity an engine has, it tends to be a more powerful bus. Whether those are correlated or not, I don't know. So I'm not going to make up claims. But yeah, the most Volvo double deckers in the UK are B5s, well, the modern ones at least, which is 5 litre, and especially on the hybrids, they just, at least here, they couldn't do hills at all. Which is why we got rid of them. Only this year, weirdly, but yeah, they were a nightmare. They just there's one bit round Queen's Park where the 2 goes round. Yeah. And I remember last time I was on it, I think I probably said it was just making some weird noises and really wanting to give up. One of them was so bad that they said it's just not safe to put it on this route anymore, and they put it on a different route for its final months.
So you don't have the B5 TLs anymore. Have you got any B5 LHs?
No, they were B5 LHs. We never had TLs.
Oh, I see. But like, are they still being produced though, the LHs?
No, I don't think so. I think, well, they don't make the B5 TL for. Well, I don't know about other countries, but in the UK, because the Evo SETI was the B5 TL.
Oh, I see.
And sorry, where's the drop-off point? Is that it? I think that might be it. All new Evo SETIs are the triaxle B8s now, like the Hong Kong spec. And I think that's just because all Volvo do. Especially as everything goes electric now. Hang on, I'm gonna do the job and that will go crazy. Yeah, because everything's electric now. Sorry.
No, it's funny.
No worries.
There's no room for the mouse.
The eye adaptation.
I'll speak in a second.
Look at the eye adaptation.
And then you're gonna pick up a job from here, right?
Yeah. Can't see the thingy now.
Maybe
Oh, it's back there. It's back there.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, because everything's electric now,
Hmm.
there are less orders for diesel buses, and so I suppose it's a good time for them to say, well, we're not going to list it anymore if no one's buying it. Although I don't really... well, I mean, I don't know much about production lines of buses, but I would presume it's not something like, I don't know, a can of cola where you just roll out can after can after can after can. With the bus, it's more, okay, we've got an order, now we'll order in the parts and weld it and build it. So I don't really see much point in sort of saying, well, no one's buying it, so we won't sell it.
Yeah, that's
When
true.
you might get someone who will eventually buy it, and then you can start building it from there.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's many reasons that I just don't know about, but yeah, buses are less powerful now, or at least on double deckers, and I believe that is just weight saving. A bit like the Street Deck and Gemini 3 have. Sorry, am I in the spot?
Just
In
a
the
little
way?
bit.
Sorry, I'll move.
all
Yeah,
right. Thank you.
the Street Deck and Gemini 3 have much smaller top deck windows, because obviously glass is a lot heavier than a thin sheet of, I don't know, aluminium or whatever metal they use. So yeah, everything's about saving money, unfortunately. Well, I mean, I get it in terms of fuel efficiency, but in other things where you're just trying to make everything as cheap as you can, you're forgetting that your main focus is making a vehicle that works and also people will want to take.
Yeah. That is true. By the way, I did accept another contract from here to Seattle.
Alright, I'll accept that just now.
Okay.
Give me 2 seconds.
Of course.
Okay, I think I've accepted it. I'm not sure if I have though. Where's it from? Here?
It's from here to Seattle, Washington.
And that's a state that Blue has.
Yes, of course.
Hang on, let me just check. I don't think it has accepted it.
Ah.
No, it hasn't. That's weird. I clicked accept.
Maybe you didn't agree to the terms and conditions.
Right, okay, I think... Yeah, okay, trailer's ready. Where is it hiding?
It's right.
It's right to your right.
Yeah.
Right to my right. Okay, I cannot see it in the mirror.
Directly to your right and slightly behind.
Oh, I think I see it. Will I have to go into third person mode to do this? Oh, there it is. Probably not. Yeah, this is a thing with the truck sims. I can't drive well enough in it. Whereas in OMSI, I can see my mirrors easily, and my driving might not be flawless, but it's certainly, you know, I can feel comfortable. You know, I can maintain the speed limit and take corners smoothly. Whereas in Eurotruck, it's just, oh, I'm speeding. Oh God, I've got to slow down. Oh, but this feels so dreadfully slow. And then you get to a corner and it's just, oh, I took that horribly. I don't know why it is, but I can never do it properly, and it's disappointing because obviously I want to be driving sensibly. I mean, that doesn't mean.
Are you sure that you've got your trailer?
I hope. What the? Okay, that's.
It's
really not liking me today, is it?
Yeah. Also, Waste the Tries is here. It says,
Hello.
Hey, happy weekend, everyone. Hello. And Melanie Mahogany says, it's so nice to see the Winterland again.
Yeah. The event's gonna end tomorrow, So it's really the last time.
Murder Mahogany, if you want to get your deliveries done, to get the colourful lights, then you really need to hurry up and make sure that you get all of those done. There's not a lot of time left.
Yeah. But yeah, hello.
I wish we could say the same about winter itself.
Yeah.
Also, Waste the Try says, it's amazing to me how slow things seem on screen. It's deceptive.
Oh.
I think that depends largely on the field of view as well. If you press...
Yeah, maybe that's something I need to change. What is it, F?
It's function F4, and then you can
F4.
go to...
Ow. Really? You do it in that menu as well? Okay, let's have a look.
Yeah, I always change the field of view of trucks before I actually drive them.
What number do you have it on? At the moment, mine's 75.
I've got mine on 80. And I also...
At the moment, moved to 83. Let's try that.
I don't use the identical settings for each truck. I also move the camera, most of the time, move the camera a bit back as well. And like for the base game trucks, the field of view is often... It's a bit too zoomed in for me, so it's just personal preference, but I like to...
Yeah, it feels a little bit better now, so we'll see how that goes, but at the same time, now I kind of feel a bit too far back. It's weird, we'll give it a go.
You can,
I can always adjust it.
You could set the field of view higher, as you did, and then move your camera further forward.
Careful you don't get boxed in.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. But the buses in ETS2 do feel better than the trucks, do they? To drive, or like... I remember you saying something like that.
Waste the Try says, sensitive driving is right.
I'm glad you think so. Also, look, there's some cable cars in the scenery.
Yeah. On Minecraft, I've got my FOV set to 80 as well.
Oh, wow. Look at the cube map. Look at the cube map.
Yeah. On ETS or ATS, if you use the 7 camera, which is the one that's right by the front wheel, then things do feel a lot faster.
Because you're further down. Yeah.
Right, sorry. No, I didn't answer your question because the wheel was going mad,
yeah,
and I didn't want to hold it down and annoy you.
No worries.
Yes, they do, and I think most of that is just because of the bigger windscreen, and I can actually see what's going on, and I'm lower down.
I see. So, I was thinking about... I mean, I don't know anything about like SES tools or whatever, like because there's the SES Blender tools as a plugin for Blender, where like to use Blender to get stuff into the SES games. I haven't used that. I did install it once, but I haven't used it. I don't know anything about the process of actually getting stuff into these games, but one day I might. And I thought it might be a good idea to, because V3D did release the models of his buses like free of charge. Just not the payware ones, but his freeware models he's released free of charge. Used to be on his website, now it's on the Techno Discord server, Techno Service Discord server. So, with proper credit, one could port V3D's freeware buses to ETS2.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I think the ALX was ported into GTA or something weird like that.
Yeah,
I assume he's perfectly fine with it.
Yeah,
I'd happily like to see that.
The ALX 400, the Volvo B70L one was ported to GTA 5.
That's the one.
They flipped it over so it's mirrored, so the steering wheel's on the left side, I think. And it was also the actual model itself was also ported to. There was another game, like a racing game. I forgot what.
Assetto Corsa?
Yes, that's
like
it. Assetto Corsa, one of them. It was ported to that, and just seeing that bus with that good lighting, it just looks so much better than Omsi 2, like with all the lighting effects and things. And
yeah,
they even got,
it always does.
Yeah, they even got the wipers to work and things, and it just looks beautiful. So, hopefully one day, when I'm more accustomed to using, or when at all accustomed, I would like to try to port, like maybe the MAN Lion City maybe as well, but mostly like the ALX 400 a Danish Trident B70L and perhaps also the Enviro 200 MMC. That would just be brilliant, I think, especially once the UK is reworked in however many years that'll be, but that would be brilliant, I think.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too. I mean, I say all these things like, oh yeah, you should do that, go on, do it, and then I don't know how to do it myself, so it's a bit...
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, it's easy, you should do it, when I have no clue how hard it is.
I don't know either. I don't know either. But hopefully I will one day.
So, Wasted Tries says, I like the mirror windows in a cable car. Reflection looks good.
Yeah, I mean, you're only really supposed to see it from quite far away. So, yeah, I think not modeling an
Train above us.
Oh yeah. I think not modeling an interior for them is absolutely excusable in that case.
Excusable or acceptable?
Excusable.
But that implies that it's still wrong, but they've just got an excuse that's
It's a perfectly
effective.
valid excuse, I think.
Yeah, but that still implies that it's wrong the way they did it, and that they need an excuse
That's
for it.
fine.
Talking about interiors, and I did see your message earlier, Kango, but I didn't reply because I thought it would be something we could discuss on stream. Yeah, the Gemini interior is... Well, the templates for it are pretty bad. I mean, it's nicer in that there's only 4 or something like that, as opposed to like a million different ones. But
Yeah.
it's just messy, and the way they've done it is they've included it's like someone's already repainted it, but the layers, or at least... Well, it's because I was opening it up in Paint.net, not Photoshop, because I don't have it installed on this machine.
Yeah.
But the layers were all out of whack, and some things weren't multiplied, and then there were just weird layers that you sort of think, is that important, or can I delete it? And it was just a nightmare trying to work out what was what. So I didn't like that. As for the bus itself, it's not awful, but I personally don't think it's worth £17 or however much it was.
Yeah, I see.
Although I have only driven one of them, as opposed to however... Like I've done the
B7
B9.
B9.
No, there is a B7 too, but also another thing I don't like is things like seats, for example. They're not set vars. They are down to the spec of like
sorry?
Sorry, say that again.
Sorry, there is a lost gift thingy here. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I had loads of those on Sunday in a row. It was, I think the first one was on my 7th job.
Oh.
But yeah, no, I mean it was all right, apart from one of them that was in like
in a lake.
front gate to a house.
Oh yeah.
And I had to really like do a 20-point turn just to get in there.
Okay, let's turn around.
More chat. Wasted Try says, I was just pointing out that the reflection means ray tracing, I guess? Anyway, wasn't a comment on the model.
No, that was just a cube map.
Yeah, on the cable car that was a cube map. On the trucks, it's a bit different. I don't think it's ray tracing on the trucks. It might be...
Reflection, perhaps?
Well, no, I think it might be like just separate cameras that render. Because the reflections are pretty weird sometimes if it's a bit further away. And I don't think if it used ray tracing that it would look strange from those points of view.
Also, your own truck isn't visible. Your own truck or trailer isn't visible in the reflections, or other players. Other players, I'm not sure, but your own definitely not, because yeah, there are like places where you should be able to see a trailer, just nothing there. So maybe someday that'll maybe get addressed, but who knows?
Elizabeth just earned you $15,000.
Oh.
Dollars.
Go on, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Better give her a pay rise after this.
I would do if I could.
In the garages when you buy them and hiring drivers,
Yeah.
I really wish they'd just let you bulk buy because now you can buy garages without visiting them. So I bought all the ones in the cities I discovered.
Yeah.
But you still have to go truck by truck, and it just takes forever. And then the same with drivers. And I don't see any reason why you can't just say, okay, I want to buy 5 trucks, all to this garage, and then move like that.
Yeah, that is true. Like a quantity.
Because you're not adding anything to the game by making people do it one by one. In fact, you're probably driving them away because they go, oh, well, I don't want to set up my company, it takes up too much effort. And then because they're not earning that extra money, they're not buying all the different trucks you have to offer.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, the way I play is, I pretty much, when I buy my first truck, I pretty much stick with that one all the way through, because like my enjoyment of these games is exploring the landscapes and discovering the places and things, and playing in multiplayer. So I don't really need more than the truck that I'm comfortable with.
Unless it's a
Plus-
minigame.
Yeah.
Plus it's
Well, I
plus
get
it's,
that.
Yeah, plus it's like a traveling companion sort of thing. Like, this is the truck that's already explored all of this map and all of these
definitely.
places. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I kind of do the same, but I might change it every couple of months just for a change of scenery. But otherwise, I'm not changing it every couple of drives because I pick the truck that well, maybe it's not the nicest truck for me to drive because I'm not experimenting with them all. But it's the one I'm used to, and it's nice to me. Get used to the sounds and the 45 cats I've put on the dash.
Actually,
Which is another reason not to change a truck, just to do it all over again.
Yeah.
I think I know why that started, because in ATS 1, when you got your truck, it had an odometer which counted how many kilometers you'd driven in it. And so I used to have that on and just watch and have that as a record for how far I'd driven. And so
And watch the value of your truck deteriorate.
well, but in ETS 1, you couldn't have multiple trucks. If you bought another truck, you traded in the one that you've got, because garages weren't a thing. And so
Yeah.
from that, I didn't want to trade in my truck because I didn't want to reset the distance that I had driven. So I think that's where the thing came from, where I want to stick with the truck that I first get. I think that's the start.
Yeah.
Should we take a picture here for the thumbnail?
We can do if you so desire.
Okay, I'm just thinking what angle would be best here. I think somewhere where the
The sun.
sun's properly on us.
Also,
Oh, like that.
You
that.
pick your spot and then I'll turn around.
Wasted Tries has a
happy
very
there?
important question,
Yeah.
which is, didn't your mama warn you not to buy garages you haven't visited?
Unfortunately not.
Think of all the
Well,
trouble
I
that
suppose
would
I have
saved you.
visited them, I just didn't buy them at the time.
Although not all trucks in ETS 1 had that odometer. It was the Majestic truck that had it. I'm not sure if any of the others did.
Well, that was the one.
Majestic? Who built that?
It's
Or is
they
it a
were-
fictional?
it's fictionalized Mercedes-Benz because
Right,
they
okay.
didn't have the licenses
So an
back then.
Actros.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Right,
the Renault were Runner, and Scania were Swift, and Mercedes were Majestic.
Volvo was Valiant.
Yeah, Volvo was Valiant, and was DAF?
Am I going to hit you? I think I
Um,
am with my trailer. Or am I
That's
in a good...
That's good. That's good. That's brilliant.
Okay, alright.
Okay,
While
so-
you take the thumbnail, I'm just going to pop out for 2 seconds.
Okay.
Be sure to let the big sparkle photobomb the screenshot.
Did I?
No,
I'm not sure if I did now.
I don't think you did.
Okay. I think that's a good one actually. I don't think I really need to take many more.
Brilliant thumbnail! 100, says Wasted Tries.
100.
Yes, 100.
Wow.
Or rather 100 exclamation mark.
Thank you.
Also, the cable cars on the trailer are yellow, whereas the ones on the map are red.
Yes. Oh, that's the SES logo, look. A backpack. For some reason. Skis. That says ski on them. Traveling boots. Tent.
Bueno, mis camisetas, estoy aquí otra vez. Vamos.
Yes, do it quickly, please, please. Go quickly, yes.
Okay.
Did you understand any word of that out of curiosity?
A couple of them sounded familiar. Vamos, I'm pretty sure I got.
Yeah. Well, what does that mean?
Well, I think like to go or to leave, I think? Did I get that at all right, or?
Yeah, but vamos is essentially like let's go.
Yeah.
But interestingly, so it comes from the verb ir, meaning to go. If you use it reflexively, so for I go, it's boy. But if you're saying I'm leaving, you say me boy. It's like I'm going myself, effectively. Which just a little interesting side fact. But no, I said, all right then. I called you my T-shirts because I couldn't think of an interesting nickname, so I just picked a random noun that came to the top of my head, and then I said I'm here again. Let's go.
I see.
Wasted Try says otra vez. And then Moni Mahogany says, what language was that? And then Wasted Try says, Spanish. I mean, we all know that it was Elvish, but yeah. Sounded nice, says Moni Mahogany.
Really? I mean, I thought my pronunciation was abysmal then.
I mean, Moni Mahogany probably, considering that they asked what language it was, they probably don't know wouldn't be able to pick up on the nuance of the specific pronunciations of things. And there was probably more comment on the general sound of it.
Also, we're going straight ahead. But
are you behind me?
Yes,
Sorry,
I am.
I just started going.
I am. Also, yeah, straight ahead here, but we're taking the next exit.
Next exit, okay.
Also, Sharadise, what you said before, the DAF brand wasn't in ETS 1, it was only the 4.
Oh, yeah.
But in German Truck Simulator and UK Truck Simulator, it wasn't licensed. So they had DAF, but they had it with a V instead of an F. And they also had Iveco with a D instead of the C, so Ivedo.
Oh yeah, I remember. Were those also in UK Truck Sim?
Yes, it's the same trucks, only different map. And in UK Truck Simulator, they actually in the trailer for it, they actually in one scene, I'm not sure if the traffic goes the wrong way, but there's definitely like traffic lights.
Sorry to interrupt.
No worries.
Am I going on the right or the left of this bit? I don't know if they go the same way.
We're going down. If that helps. I think we're keeping
at the moment I'm going up.
No,
hold on. There's right. There's correct. There's correct.
Wait,
okay. Good. Sorry. Right. Continue.
The other one lead.
I think the other one goes straight ahead to the port on the left.
Oh, yeah. I remember being confused by that when we played together with Eagle as well.
But yeah. Seattle, Washington.
But yeah, going back to the Gemini, I haven't driven it much, only a little bit, because the computer was really playing up yesterday. It took me about 40 minutes just to get my emails open to activate it. But yeah, I don't know what it is about it, but it just, something didn't feel quite right to me. Where are you going?
I try to squeeze past the AI car. That didn't feel right.
Sure.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know if it was. I think some of it is they've gone a bit overboard on trying to make it feel aged and substance painting,
Oh.
and so it like it's a bit too scratched, or at least in the cab.
Oh, I see.
But also, I mean, I obviously I know B9s well, but not really old Gemini 1s. So it could be an accurate representation, but it didn't. Maybe it's just because it's not what I'm used to.
Yeah.
And I suppose I had the same thing with, like, when the street light came out, I was driving that all the time, and then I stopped driving it for quite a while, and I thought I'll go back to it, and I just couldn't get back into it. So I suppose I didn't fit in the cab. I suppose it is just a thing of getting used to it. But yeah, I don't know. It didn't feel quite there for me.
I see.
I don't know if the B7's better or not.
How did you find V3D's B7TL?
Oh god, it's been so long since I've driven those. I mean, the thing is with the V3D buses, they're good buses, but because I'm so used to the likes of Master Switch and all that sort, with all these different features, even though you've got a perfectly good bus that drives like a bus, it's sort of like, oh well, it hasn't got this passenger occupancy. I don't want to drive it. You know, well, I don't even use that feature, but you know, it's because it has less. I don't know, and also I suppose a lot of it is the charm of what's been around you, and apart from a few Stagecoach examples,
Yeah.
we never had any ALX. Well, right now I actually did.
The
But
Trident.
I don't remember any of them. So yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's just what you're used to, I suppose, isn't it?
Well, you did have solos.
Well, we had one.
One solo?
Just the one, yeah.
Oh,
It was originally
okay.
with Metrobus,
Hmm.
and then it came down to us. I guess. Oh, your trailer disappeared. I guess it was for the 16 and 66 only.
Oh.
The shuttle routes around Hangington, but yeah, it was just the one for some reason. Whereas Omnideckers, we had 108 of them. Where's
Wow.
Oh, it's all the way at the entrance. It's because we don't have the big shiny pop-up things.
Yeah, it's a bit confusing.
I went over it and I thought, what's this doing here? What's that for? I didn't put two and two together.
Yeah.
Let's find it. All the way back to the beginning. Is that it? Yeah. I find it really weird, like, talking over voice call, because it feels like I'm talking to myself. Especially also because it's coming through my headphones. I suppose it's like you're talking to the voices in your head. So yeah, I do apologize if I'm interrupting you. I guess I just haven't got
No
that.
worries.
You know,
The
secretly,
social aspect.
secretly, there is nobody else in the voice call with you.
Oh.
We're all just in your head. But don't tell anyone it's a secret. They wouldn't appreciate it. They'd say it's not normal.
I think the main problem with the wheel going crazy like it does is the I don't know what the term is. You know, the little knob that people use to hold on and turn it round.
Yeah.
Like you can get it in Euro Truck,
Yes.
and probably American Truck. It's got one of those on, and it does seem like you can unscrew it, but I'm sort of hesitant to, just in case it does for whatever reason mess things up, or I can't ever get it back on. But when it does spin around, like if I'm leaning on the wheel, for example, it's fine if it spins and I'm just leaning on it. But then when that comes around, it starts whacking into me, and then when I'm trying to reach over to the keyboard,
So it's like
that's where most of the pain comes from.
Oh no.
so it's like a morning star sort of thing almost.
Morning, sorry,
Oh well, like
it's lost on me.
like a mace with a chain thing.
Oh yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Oof. That's not
just,
so pleasant.
When I pre-ordered it, they said, oh, it worked with these games, and then, but I don't think OMSI was on the list originally. It might be now. And so I emailed them and I said, look, I'm thinking of pre-ordering it. Is it going to work with OMSI? And they said, yes, we're just testing it now, making sure everything works. Well, it doesn't. So,
Yeah.
were they really testing it? But especially as Eurotruck was on, like, originally from the get-go, they said it will work in Eurotruck. Well, I suppose it does work, but not safely.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily know if it's just this one wheel or all of them, because I doubt many people buy them. I mean, my colleague does have one as well, but I think he's only used it in OMSI, and I mean, he also wasn't pleased with it, but he sort of also just wasn't fussed.
I see. Yeah, that is. If it actually doesn't work with the games they're advertising it to work with, then that's just false advertising.
Yeah, I mean, I much prefer my old wheel, which was a Logitech one. But the problem was, the cable on the pedals was really messed up, as I've explained before. And because I couldn't, like, for example, the one on this one is just a standard data cable, so if it goes, I can just easily replace it and it'll cost me a couple of pounds. Whereas on that one, I'd have to unscrew everything, solder on a new cable, and pray that it gets put together properly.
Yeah.
And so that was the main reason why I thought, okay, well, I will upgrade to this one to solve that issue, and then I won't ever really need to get a wheel again, because I can sort of just get each part individually.
Yeah.
And also, of course, because it is a truck and bus wheel, and that's what I play. I don't. The other wheel, the Logitech one, it does obviously work, but it's more for
racing,
race car driving, which does not interest me.
Same.
So I thought, well, this will be good to improve the simulator experience.
Yeah.
And it hasn't really.
Unfortunate.
Do you have the next trailer ready?
Yeah, I've accepted a job if you want to accept
right.
as well.
Just give me 2 seconds to lose my arms. Okay, I'm ready to go.
Yay!
Oh, a train. On my way home on Friday, I had Alan as my onboard supervisor.
Oh.
He's the one who swallows the mic, so it was very loud. I mean, I had someone say, "Oh, when you're walking to..." Well, I was already at Victoria, but they said, "Oh, have you left work?" I said, "Yes." I said, "Oh, can you ring me on your way to the tube station?" And so I presumed it was, like, important, that it wouldn't be over text. And so as I was boarding on the train, I answered the call. I said, I could talk for a little bit, but obviously not for the whole journey. And as soon as I said that, Alan started talking. So I just said, just hold on a second. I stayed on the phone, and she could hear it all.
Yeah.
So she knew why I'd asked to pause. But yeah, I mean, he means well, but God, is it loud. It is so loud. And also, because it's so loud, it picks up on itself, and the mic squeals.
Yikes. Someone should tell him.
Well, that's the thing. When I was getting off, he was standing at the door, writing something on a sheet of paper he had to do.
Yeah.
I think he was just writing actually the times that the train arrived, which is weird because they have the train itself as the data for that. But yeah, he was at the door, and I was kind of there like, should I say something? And I thought it's probably a bit weird if one of your passengers goes, "Oh, by the way, your announcements are making my ears bleed."
I mean, yeah. It is a bit tricky.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's just the volume of it that's the problem. Otherwise, it's fine. But it is also quite funny because as soon as he started speaking, I just went, "Oh, that's Alan."
Yeah.
Didn't have to wait for him to say it, and I've got so tuned to them all now. I go, "Oh, that's Adam. That's Nigel."
Yeah.
Wasted Tries has a good suggestion. It
Go on.
says, "Nah, just humiliate them on Twitch, lol."
If you're watching, Alan, my sincerest apologies. I do love your announcements. Just, well, actually, no, I don't, because what really annoys me is.
Go on.
Yes, go on, please. Do tell us what.
It's like 5 o'clock in the evening, or 5:30 or later, and he always finishes the announcement with, "Good afternoon, welcome aboard." It's not the afternoon; it's the evening.
Well, in the summer it would still be afternoon because the sun would set far later.
Yeah, in the summer, fine, but it's not. It's
Yeah.
winter. It's getting dark at like 3:30.
Maybe
And it's so stupid, but it really just, it's like,
yeah.
no.
Maybe he wrote his script in the summer.
Maybe. Well, when he was originally had his sheet of paper, I thought, oh, has he got a script for this all?
Yeah.
Because sorry, you go.
No, go on.
Yeah, he's one of the supervisors that starts the announcement with just saying, if you have this ticket and this ticket and this ticket and this ticket and this ticket, you cannot get this train. Get off right now.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, not like that, obviously, but essentially he's just saying, like, if you have this ticket, you cannot get this train.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I get why they say it, but I'd rather you say, hello, happy Friday, and all that sort of fun stuff before you tell me I can't be on this train.
I guess they want... Is that while the train's still in the station?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess they want to get that out of the way, so...
Oh, no, I completely get it.
I don't know.
But it's sort of just...
Yeah.
Like, some of them... They all say it, but some of them just start it by just... Their whole announcement is just, you cannot be on this train. Whereas some of them will say, hello, this is this train, and, you know, have a nice pleasantries, and then say, oh, and by the way, if you have this ticket, please take a different train.
Yeah.
They're still saying the same thing, but it's sort of just the way they go about it.
I see.
Wasted Try says, it depends if you're looking forward to the end of the afternoon and looking forward, or trying to drag it out. Yeah.
Well, I suppose, but it's, for me, evening, well, I guess I'd also, like, most people would probably say evening is when they leave work, for example, or when they have dinner, you know, it's like there's a set occasion that they class as the border point. But at the same time, I sort of, I mean, yes, it is for me, it is when I leave work. But also at the same time, it's when it starts to get dark, or it's going to be dark soon.
Yeah.
Maybe we all just need to decide on a set time.
Well, yeah, but then you'd have to shift that depending on the season and things.
Well, yeah, but I mean, surely that's only going to be by like an hour, and that's going to stay for
What do you mean?
3 months or something like that.
Oh, right, if it's every 3 months or something. I mean, like, depending, like, in the winter, it's already dark at 5, but in the summer, you've still got...
At 5, you'd be lucky if it's still light at 3.
Yeah, but, well, in the summer, you've got light until, well, past 10.
Yeah. Well, I remember, I remember, it was today, it makes it sound like it was ages ago. I was walking to town today to just, you know, do the weekly shop, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And have I hit you? No, I think
That's
I'm
fine.
right.
We
I'm
can't
gonna
hit each
that
other here.
trailer, though. Okay, so, I did hit that trailer. Yeah, I was walking down the road, and the sun was quite low in the west. And I thought, oh gosh, it's only 2 o'clock, it's already that low. And I said, well, in the summer, that would be like 7 or 8 p.m. It's just so depressing that, like, I mean, for me on a Saturday, I'm up earlier, but I'm sort of starting my day at like 1 or 2 in terms of when I'm leaving the house. like what I'll normally do is I'll get up, might go for a drive, that kind of thing, or you know, something like that. Then I'll have a shower and go out and do the shopping, and then come back, probably a little bit more of a drive, have dinner, and then get ready for the stream. You know, so like
Oh yeah.
although I am up earlier, I'm not sort of getting ready and starting the day properly until the afternoon. And it's just upsetting that as soon as you start, it's getting dark. Whereas in the summer, you know it's going to stay lighter for longer.
Yeah. That is true.
Waste the Tries says, when I lived in New York City, I loved this old air traffic controller who would strictly say good day until 5 p.m. and I think bonsoir? I have no idea how to pronounce that.
Yes, that's true.
After.
That's right.
Listen to him on Channel 10 on United several times.
Well, see, that's good, you know, having that set time of saying, right, this is now evening. And also 5 p.m. makes sense because, you know, majority of people are doing a 9 to 5. I mean, technically, I am also doing a 9 to 5 with an hour break, but I take my hour break at 4 so I can get the earlier train. So I just work non-stop without a break. Which, I mean, it's fine for me. I'm more than happy doing that. But it is kind of like, well, I mean, obviously, you know, you can take a 5-minute break to have something to eat. You know, it's not strictly like, why have you not tapped your keyboard in 2 seconds? But yeah.
Imagine if you had like a sort of an AFB or AWS device for your keyboard. That would be fun.
Warning system.
Accidentally open.
Well, like,
Sorry.
Like what you have in trains, like driver vigilance devices in trains, where if you haven't touched the controls for like a minute or however long it is, where the alarm goes off and they've got to mash a button in 3 seconds, otherwise the emergency brakes go on.
Yeah, no, I've heard that a lot when I sit at the front of the train.
Yeah.
But it like I get the reasoning, but it's sort of like, is it every minute? Because that seems.
I don't know exactly. It varies from system to system. Like with the.
Like obviously I get the reasoning, but sometimes it just seems quite aggressive.
Yeah, like with the AW, like there are a couple of different systems. Like the AWS system is tied to magnets on the tracks. So if you go over a magnet, that like they're placed by signals or speed reduction warnings or things like that. If they go over a magnet with a clear signal, so there's no restriction, then there's just a ding. If they go over.
Okay. I was just saying, okay. Like,
no, I meant Cango.
Oh right, sorry.
Yeah, I was just thinking which portal. Yeah, I think that's good. Okay.
Yeah, and if they go over a magnet that's by a signal that's like an approach or a warning signal, like the next one's red or the one after is red or a speed reduction's coming something, then you get a consistent tone, like an alarm tone that has to be acknowledged by a button press. So with that, it's not based on time, it's based on specific points that the train goes over.
Yeah, because I mean, I've only sat at the front of the train on a couple of occasions, either if I've left really early, which, well, has only been twice, once when I was ill, which I didn't sit at the front of the train for that one. Well, I just had a headache, essentially. And another time, when we had the office, we went out for a meal around Christmas time, but we were told it's not a Christmas meal, it's just taking the opportunity around Christmas.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so because I stayed working an extra 2 hours, I left really early the next day, and so I thought, I'll sit at the front of the train, because I had to go all the way to Brighton on that one. So I think there have been other occasions, but I'll tell you what it would be when I went to London in the day and then came back. Yeah, I've only sat at the front of the train a couple of times, but I seem to recall them being at the same places each time, give or take.
Yeah.
So essentially, that's just a long-winded story of way of saying, oh yes, what you said seems correct to me.
Yeah, and there are other systems as well that are time-based, I think.
Other systems are available.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also in chat.
TPWS, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
In chat, Monimogany asks Where's the Tries, do you miss New York? And then Where's the Try says, oh sure. And then Slovak Eagle says hi.
Hello.
Yeah, Slovak Eagle is the one who will be hosting the OpenTTD server. And then Eagle says, being a busy bee, making sessions, well, how are you guys doing? Oh, on the last delivery.
Yeah. For blue.
Oh, look at that truck in front of you, the red one.
Oh goodness. Yeah, there's a bit of an AI collision in front of us. There's a bit of a traffic jam. We need to squeeze past on the hard shoulder.
Oh gosh, what happened?
AI crashed by itself. I was not involved.
Oh, this is yeah, sure. There's a spot to no, there's not a spot to squeeze in
Here,
here.
it's here.
All right.
Or on the grass. Grass works
yeah, well,
too.
Yes.
I
Pincer
stopped
movement,
for a
go!
second
Pincer movement!
because I realised the door was open. So I went to close it, and I forgot to put my truck in park. So it just started rolling down the hill.
Oh, I see.
But yeah, we were talking the warnings, and
Yeah.
I remember when I was sitting at the front, and the alarm went off, and straight away, the driver would hit the button and it would stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of started to think, well, at what point does it just become muscle memory of, oh, there's that noise, I've got to turn it off, and less about making sure the driver's paying attention?
Interesting.
Well, it is sort of more of a reminder.
Yeah.
Plus, there are. I think that there. See, I'm not that well versed in the system, but there might also be like if a speed reduction is in order, there might also be detectors for how fast the train is going by, whatever the AWS was warning about.
Oh.
Although I'm not entirely sure if that is true. I know that the German...
Well, it would make sense.
Yeah, I know that the German PZB system does have speed recognition with where different situations require you to go past magnets at different speeds depending on what the situation is. But I'm not that well versed in the system.
We had a speed restriction on the way home this week. I guess it's because of the snow and then it becoming icy. But on one day they decided to send us down the Red Hill line, which it takes longer, but then I was expecting it to take a lot longer because the regular, there's a train that goes to it goes to Red Hill and then half of it goes on to Reigate, which is essentially just around the corner, and then the other half goes on to Gatwick. But one time when the Gatwick Express was cancelled, I just wanted to get home. I went, oh okay, that's the next train that's leaving going to Gatwick, I'll get that one, which is a bad idea because it took twice the time to get there because I can't remember what route it took, but it must have stopped everywhere in South London. So when I realised we were going down the Red Hill line, I went, oh dear, I'm going to be very late home. But it was only in the end, like, I think 8 minutes late, which, I mean, it's still not good, but it's not as bad as the 30 I was expecting. But they didn't tell us at all, and not even, like, the app notification, you can view your journey, and sometimes it'll say why it's been delayed, and it just said speed restriction. And I thought, well, it's a bit more than a speed restriction because you've sent me down a completely different line.
Yeah.
Well, I think it said it was because of faulty track, but I mean, either way, it's still, I've gone a different way. But that the onboard supervisor on that day, he's one of the one he doesn't say anything at all, just comes along and checks your ticket, and then I think occasionally he'll say like, well, we're approaching Gatwick, but yeah, he did say after we went through, just, oh, we've gone a different way, so we're 5 minutes late. And I thought, well, I can see that now. Sort of would have been nicer if you said before we went that way.
Yeah.
Because I remember well, there's the Gatwick Express normal way. It goes over a bridge by East Surrey Hospital, and normally I sit on the other side of the train so I can't see it.
Well,
But I was on the right side. Sorry, go ahead.
One second,
Yeah.
the Monkey King, whatever, was that a reference?
Lion King. Right?
Oh, I thought it was a reference to the overly sarcastic productions thing, but maybe you're right. Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt, but it would have been gone otherwise.
No, that's all
Well,
right.
one second, while I'm at it, it's the Regal says, "Oh, P2B, love-hate relationship." Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the hospital. Sorry, did I just bump you? My
A little
apologies.
bit, it's fine.
It's because of that nose that I can't see. Yeah, because I was on the other side of the train this time because I couldn't get my regular seat. I thought, oh, I'll look out for it, and we crossed over the M25. And I thought, okay, well, it must be coming up soon. Then I kept looking and just seeing all these buildings. Thought, these buildings weren't here yesterday. What's going on? And I was really confused. I thought, well, we've been going down here for like 10 minutes now. Why have I not seen it yet?
Yeah.
Or at least, why have I not seen something else? I've gone, oh, I've missed it. And then I saw a sign for Red Hill Station, and I went, okay, why am I here?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it just would have been nice to be told.
That's true.
And also, in regards to my regular seat, I used to always have... I picked the same seat in Coach 3. It was sort of in the middle of the coach. Sometime, I mean, obviously, different coaches have different arrangements, depending if the train's flipped. And sometimes that would be behind a table, sometimes just a regular seat, but it always had a full window. But then I started to feel like, well, I'm getting really bad luck in Coach 3. I kept seeing someone that, well, not someone I know, well, I do know him, but like a family friend or a family member's friend, not a friend of the family, and it was really awkward. Kept getting on the same train. I was just like, I could feel him always, you know, we were looking at each other, or just like, it's just like, I was so early in the morning. I don't know what to say. So that was getting awkward. And then I'd always have my arch nemesis, who I call Archie, getting on Hayward's Heath, and that was another stress. Oh, thank you. It says I can bypass the way station,
Same.
Yeah,
even
except you
though
won't
when
be.
it tells me to go in, I always go in it. I always skip it anyway.
Yeah, except you won't be bypassing it.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, I kept thinking, oh well, this coach seems to be cursed for me. Something always goes wrong. So I decided I'm going to pick a different coach, and so I have a different regular now. And it's kind of sad because I always pick the same seat for 4+ months, and now I'm somewhere, and I feel like, oh, do the people who are regulars in this coach, do they now think I've just started? I'm like, no, I'm seasoned.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have to figure out some way of proving that you're seasoned.
Well, it's my I suppose it's my ticket, which is on a travel card, and you only really get that if you have a season ticket.
I see.
Well, how are you gonna make sure that everybody else on the train knows that?
Well, because I'm so used to having my tickets checked, I now know when you hear the noise from like 3 carriages down, because it's so loud. I don't know what it is when they scan. I think it's the e-tickets. But it sounds more like a rejection sound to me. But anyway, that's just me rabbiting on. Yeah, I start to hear it and I go, okay, it's time to get my ticket out of my pocket. And I have it in... do you remember when we were sitting around and I showed you, like, I made a joke. We were playing the card game about the party, and I pulled out my card and I said, oh, drinks on me.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the wallet it was in?
Maybe.
Well, I mean, it's not important if you do, but it was essentially, I have it in one of those, and so it's in the first one. So I hold it by the end, and it sort of flops over, a bit like in sort of like in a movie where you ask a detective to see their badge and they flop it over.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I sort of just sit there for like 5 minutes waiting for the onboard supervisor to come up my way. So I suppose everyone can see it from there.
Yeah.
Eagle says, and Eagle quotes, "I am seasoned." That's one way to say you travel regularly.
Also, we did spot separate portals again.
I don't understand like why they wouldn't make it so if you're in a
Well,
within reason, like you check, is it busy here? No, okay, put them in the same place.
I think it might just be that they initially implemented it for single player, like because like normally it doesn't completely change the map that you're in when you spawn somewhere. But here they wanted you to spawn somewhere randomly in single player, so they put the code in when you spawn, it puts you somewhere random, and they just didn't bother to make sure that in multiplayer that it's all synchronized within a certain... Because to do that you'd have to have like a time limit where when one player goes over, it saves the location, and then there's a timer where any other players that spawn within that time also go there, and they probably just didn't bother to do that.
Yeah, but it's disappointing because I imagine there are a lot of players who do just do it for multiplayer. I mean, especially like there are a lot of, obviously the majority of the player base is people who just, you know, enjoy truck driving, but there is also a very large audience of people who just know the game as just a fun game where you can drive a truck. And I imagine now a chunk of that player base is going to be players who do it just for multiplayer.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew. I mean, I still do know her, but I don't see her because she's now in uni in somewhere in like Guildford, I think. Anyway, that's not relevant. Yeah, she used to play Euro Truck, and she has no interest in transport. She just played it because it was a fun game. Well, at least to her. Personally, I find it fun in multiplayer, but by myself, I find it so boring.
So we've got a bit of chat. Slovak Eagle says, Evie, I hope you like 1900 British Rail. OpenTTD will be fun at the early days. Lol.
I might do, but I don't know my trains very well, other than the ones I take every day, which I then do know very well, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's gonna be alright.
As long as I can have my green and red trains, well, one train green, one train red, not green and red together, and have them go from Brighton to Victoria, then I'll be happy.
Well,
where am I going? Oh, I am going the right way.
That's a question for Eagle then. And then Waste to Try says, sounds like though there could be a GeoGuessr crossover. Guess where on the map you plopped down. Look at that blue window on the left.
Oh yeah, there's a church choir going on. It's really,
Where's the choir?
it's really quiet,
No,
but you can
where's
hear
my
a
head
choir.
Hang on, let's turn the engine off. I do hear it.
It doesn't? Are you sure it's a choir and not just organ music? Oh no, there is someone singing.
There's someone singing, yeah. And there's the. Do you see the ice skaters as well on the frozen over lake right next to us? There should be two of them.
Also, chat.
Sorry, I was distracted.
No
Do I
worries.
see the ice skaters? Well, no, because what I've got a bit of a problem in that my head tracking, the camera decided to stop picking it up. It turned off for some reason. So I went to turn it back on, and it's picking up the input but not in game. But then there's this weird thing in Euro Truck or in American Truck where when you go to another app, the tracking just makes your head go up and up like really slowly as if you're looking to the stars. And so I thought, I'm not sure if that's just a thing it does or if it does it when it's getting input. But yeah, so essentially I cannot look left or right.
Even an external cam.
Oh well, yeah, I guess there is that. But then, see, I don't go into external much because obviously I have to reach over the keyboard.
Yeah.
What am I looking for? Ice skaters?
On the little frozen over lake thingy.
Yeah, there are none. We had the same thing last time, though, didn't we?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Right. Are we going left or right?
Oh, we're going right.
There's a little bit more chat.
A la derecha vamos.
So, Eagle says, the liveries, if I recall correctly, do follow real life in the mod selection I have.
Wow.
And then Wasted Tries, in reference to the choir singer, says, blast them with a horn. And then Eagle says that there's a... Yeah, then Eagle says, but some liveries change automatically. Some you have to change manually.
Mm-hmm. Well, to be honest, I mean, I'm just excited to play anyway. I've opened it, and like I've seen how it looks, but I've never actually played. So I'm like a little bit like, ooh, it's scary. Am I going to be able to do it?
It does.
But at the same time,
yeah, it does look a bit
it's something
intimidating.
new.
But like once you've paid off the loan, then people can send money to other players to support them.
I mean, I've played this quite a bit in the streams we've had, but I still don't know the game pretty much. Like there's so much I have not mastered it at all.
So that was mission 15, right?
Yeah, that was the last one.
Let's see if it's updated. Ah, yes, big green tick.
Yay.
Nice.
Good.
Now, if you log into World of Trucks, you'll be able to claim, redeem the stuff.
Yeah, and that lasts forever, right? I think, because it's in your inbox.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll probably do it, I don't know, either later this evening or tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yes. Well, we've got 25 or 25 minutes, so we can do another one back.
Yeah, there is
maybe one more after that.
Mm-hmm.
So Eagle says, I will send you a celebratory welcoming €2.
€2? Gosh,
Yes.
I hope I don't spend it all at once. So I will be back in just 2 seconds. I will be as quick as I can.
Okay,
Right.
see you soon.
And thus silence reigned.
Yeah, what I want to do is I thought it might be nice to also have a look at the PACCAR Technical Center, like the test track thing in Washington State. So I thought maybe one journey to normal world, basic world map. And then
World.
Yes.
Be sure to pack 10 obsidian.
But yeah, then maybe quick travel to Bellingham or wherever, maybe Seattle. I mean, Seattle has to work. So yeah.
Well,
Hello,
why don't we
welcome
go
back.
there? Hello. So
Hello.
I kept my headphones on so I could hear your little whispers in the wind.
Oh no, you heard what we said about you.
Yeah, well, I mean, we don't have to do a job back if you just want to go straight there. It's up to you. I'm at your command, my lord.
So let's have a look. If you
Don't follow any of my orders. There you go. And yes, that includes that one.
if you go quick travel, what's the furthest northwest you can go?
Let me have a look and really tilt myself far away from this wheel.
While you do, I will quickly read chat.
Sure, go on.
So, Eagle says, Cango, if you play with us too, you can join my company again. This time I hope to teach you better. And then says, alright,
Thank you.
finished making session number 7 for Inselbahn, soon to be rebranded. Need to test it now. Have fun testing it and not going insane because of the repetition of testing your own sessions countless times.
Did you say northwest?
Yes, what's the first northwest you can go?
Which way is west? Seattle.
Left. That's okay, that's good. So we can go to Seattle, and then I thought we could maybe have a look at the test track thing, the PACCAR Technical Center.
$5,000. Gosh. It's
Hey,
close to 6.
You're teleporting in from a whole different world, come on.
Well, it's northbound.
And I expect it to be free.
Yeah, that is a fair.
I mean, it's not like it's free in Minecraft. Every time you teleport there, it subtracts like £10,000 from your PayPal.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's what the whole microtransaction drama was about that happened a while ago.
Really?
Yes, really.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Eagle says,
Okay.
at this point, I have like 6 shunting sessions.
Wow.
I figured out why my head tracking wasn't working.
Oh.
Because I've got a million things plugged into the computer. Well, just the wheel and the mic. It just becomes a bit of a cable nightmare.
Cable salad.
And yeah, so I put my head tracking into my laptop instead, so it doesn't hit against my knee, which I hate that so much. And because of the laptop isn't a regular USB, it's USB-C, which I then have to have an adapter for, and it doesn't. Is it I think it's USB-C. It's something similar to USB-C. Yeah, and it comes out quite easily, and so I'd evidently tugged it just the tiniest amount, and it had come out, and that's why it wasn't getting any input.
Oh, I see.
But it's all working now,
That's
so
good.
Also, can I make a special request, please?
Sure.
Can we turn the rain off if we're
I've
not
just
going
done
back
that.
to Wonderland? Okay,
It just
super.
takes a little while to update, but I've just turned to 0.
Was that you moving or me? Because
I think I moved.
okay, that's weird. No, my mind took it in as me moving. And I was like, well, why am I moving? I've got the brake on.
Yeah, I reversed a tiny bit. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay, that must be.
So, a little bit more chat. Eagle says, what microtransactions? I can provide info if I know it. I know it was a partial joke, because Blue complained about it taking so much money in ETS to
$5,863
to teleport from the Winterland
North Pole.
to the normal world. And then I said that that's nothing, because in Minecraft, if you want, every time you use a nether portal to teleport between worlds, it subtracts £10,000 from your PayPal. And then I expanded the joke a little bit to say that that's what the whole drama with the microtransaction was about from a little while ago, which has a little tiny seed of truth in it, because there was drama when they introduced the Bedrock Marketplace and they're charging people for add-ons that basically add nothing except for reskinning mobs to look like other things, and like no content whatsoever, most of them. Some of them do add stuff, but most of them do not. And there was a bit of people not being happy with how that's going, and so I
don't blame them.
as well.
Half the stuff on that store just looks really boring, and like it's hundreds and hundreds of coins, and I don't know how much that is, but I mean you've got to be spending 10 to 15 on those coins. I mean, I personally, I'm very stingy about spending.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not all of it, but like, you know, sometimes, for example, the bus fares, I now just will not get a bus. And it's weird because it's only £1 more. But then if I'm getting one bus a day, that's £5 a week, that's £20 a month. You know, over the course of a year, that's what, £240? And it adds up. And then by the end of the year, it's going to go up again. So, like, you know, small increases like that, I just will refuse to spend. Which is why I, on all the games, just like, well, I would like to have this DLC or whatever, but I don't want to spend, even if it's just like a £5. I'm just like, it's why I don't have most of the Euro Truck map DLCs. It's like, well, I don't play it enough, even though I'd like to drive it. I'm like, well, it just, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't really get people who just go, oh yeah, I'll buy 10,000 mine coins and spend them all in one go.
Yeah.
Plus, especially when you consider that if you have the Java version, you've got pretty much unlimited mods for free anyway.
But also, like, I think I would be happier purchasing a mod through donationware than I would getting it on Minecraft store, as long as, like, you know, it's a reasonable price and it's all secure. Because I know it's all going to the person making the mod, but also it's sort of everything about it, it's a bit more controllable. Like, for example, if a store were to say, okay, we're going to set your base price at, I don't know, £5 for this, whereas as a developer you might obviously you want to get as much money of your product as you can, but
Yeah.
you might also think, well, I think it's fairer to charge £3 or something, you know, and you have that flexibility, and then you might actually get more sales.
Yeah.
Yeah, on itch.io you've got a similar system, I think. Eagle says, meanwhile me, the sugar daddy of 2 servers and like 5 people. Yeah, Eagle is very, very generous with like Euro Truck DLCs and things, so that everybody can play multiplayer together and stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know,
Yes.
I have got things like, well, I bought Jamie American Truck, I think.
Yes.
You know, if I think it's a worthwhile investment for us to play together, then like there are instances where I'm going to be less stingy, but just for things personally myself. Like if I'm getting gifts for people, I'm usually a bit more reckless with my spending, because if I know they're going to enjoy it, I'm like, well, you know, it's fair enough as long as it's not crazy expensive.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, obviously the wheel was a very expensive thing, and yeah, I realistically I should have gone, no, that's too expensive. But I thought, well, I have thousands and thousands of hours in Omsi, most of that loading the game up, and
Oh no.
and it's like, oh, it's
Too true.
It's sort of an investment that pays itself in enjoyment.
Yeah.
Or at least I thought.
Like if it's the game you play the most of all the games in your Steam library, if you actually get good use out of it, then it's a lot more reasonable to spend considerable amounts of money on something to use that with.
Well, in the same way, sorry, did you finish?
Yeah,
I interrupt?
it's fine.
I'm hoping to save up for a computer, and I sent a message to Steve the other day and just said, well, look, I'm thinking of getting something, not soon, but soonish, you know, sometime towards the spring or summer, or at least getting parts of it, and then going from there. And I said, but I know nothing about where to start. What would you recommend to me? And he said, oh, I'll have a look. You know, what's your budget? And I said, well, as cheap as possible, but also I'd rather spend a bit more and know it works well and it will last longer.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it is, even though it is more money, it's an investment in enjoyment.
Yeah, definitely.
Eagle
But yeah, I mean, oh, that's a car, sorry.
Also, Eagle says, literally do it just so I can play with others. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, what is the car doing? What are you doing?
We caught that on stream. We got that on stream in the mirror.
I think
I mean, it's very kind of you.
I had hit it originally, but it just decided to glue onto me.
Yeah. That's, yeah.
At least it didn't quark onto you. Get it? Gluons? No, never mind.
Yes, that was a very... I hate physics so much.
And yet we interact with them daily.
Well, I mean, in some ways, it's kind of. I mean, I'm sort of stumbling over what I want to say, because I was gonna say, it's nicer to not know how things work, but at the same time, it is nice to know how things work. I suppose it's just like the things you do every day, like just walking. I don't want to be thinking like, oh, I am now applying a force on the ground, but because of Newton's, I can't remember, first, second, or third, one of them, the ground is also applying a force. It's, you know, it's like, I don't want to be doing that. I just want to be like, oh, I'm taking a leisurely stroll.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Although, I mean, your mind is constantly taking all of that into account anyway, from you having learned how to walk. You don't have to actively think about it.
Yeah.
No, but
subconscious.
You get like you get what I'm saying when it comes to. I mean, most of that. Well, I say I know. I don't think it's right to say no, because I've forgotten most of it or not really understood it properly. But most of the physics I have been taught, it's very like for like medical physics, for example. It's all like, you know, this is an electron, or you know, like you're really going in depth.
Did you say medical
Or,
physics?
Yeah, like CAT scans
Mm.
and
Oh,
things
yeah.
like that. Yeah. Yeah. You like, for example, I can't remember which one, but you ingest an emitter, and then it sends out, it radiates an alpha particle,
Yeah, well-
and then that interacts, and the radiation is sent off, and you know, it's picked up.
Yeah.
And like, yes, it's interesting to know how that works. But this isn't a bad example. This is a bad example because it's not an everyday thing where you get a CAT scan or something like that.
Also, are you sure that it's...
Hidden road coming up on the right.
Also, are you sure that when you ingest a source for those kind of things, that it's alpha radiation that gets emitted? Because alpha
probably not.
particles, I thought, would probably
yeah.
be blocked by your organs
Well,
and
no,
skin
no.
and stuff, wouldn't it?
No, well, what it is the I don't know if it is an alpha particle, but whatever it is, it's, oh gosh, trying to, like, it interacts in a way with. Sorry, I'm trying to understand what I'm talking about. Like it interacts there and there, and then because of that reaction, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Do you mean like when you ingest a certain isotope of an element, that then gets built into the body at certain places, where you can then gather information from the radiation before it decays or something?
Like it does. It's that isotope is attached to something, like, for example, if you want to go to the brain, use glucose, but no, I it's sort of, I've forgotten really what I'm talking about, so I don't want to be just blatantly saying the wrong thing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it's somewhere, like it reacts. It goes to that position. It starts to radiate. Then that radiated particle interacts with something else, which is then what's detected, or something like that. I'll look it up later after the stream. And,
don't bother. Don't bother. I can look it up myself if I'm.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
inclined.
either way, it was a bad example because it's not an everyday thing. But like, you know, it's what I'm essentially trying to say for all this is, it's interesting to know how things work, but when it's on such a small level that it's not something you can observe, then it's like, you know, it's going on, but you can't see it, and it's. I don't want to say stressful, but you know, it's.
You mean when you can't observe it with your senses?
Yeah.
When you need a machine to observe it, or device.
Yeah, which just, you know, when it is electrons, I can't just see them. Oh, I keep hitting cars.
It happens.
But yeah, I mean, I do, like, I enjoy learning about it, but it is just a thing of doing such simple things. Now what you can think about is how that works on a microscopic level.
Yeah, I really enjoy that sort of thing.
No, I enjoy it, but at the same time, it kind of, you're taking away the joy of not knowing in a weird way.
You mean you're taking away, like, the enticing mystery of something and replacing it with knowledge?
Yeah, but I mean, like, it could just be something as simple as walking, and now you have this in-depth knowledge of the physics of whatever you know.
Yeah.
And you know, now every time you walk, every step you take, you can go, now this process is happening, and now this law is taking, you know, and you just start to, like an infection. It sounds, there's a duff there. That's
wanted to say, because
Speaking of infection, there's a duff there.
very quickly, because we're the Packard Technical Center, it's like the parent company that owns Kenworth,
right.
Peterbilt, and DAF. So they put a modern DAF XF. Well, I'm not sure if
That's
they've
quite cool.
renamed it, but they ported the model from Eurotruck into ATS just for this one bit. But yeah, if we go back here, we can actually go onto the test track as well.
Where was the movie? Oh,
I was about to say, mind the truck.
no need to honk. I know I've hit you. Back we go. to the right. When I can't remember what it was, but I was saying something about the trains, and then Sharadise, you started laughing. And it reminds me on Thursday or Friday, I was talking with my colleague about the Gatwick Express and how when they cancel it, they only tell you about how to get to Gatwick, not, you know, if you want to get onto Brighton.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I said to him, well, I can't remember the exact word, but essentially the gist of it was, I wish they wouldn't market the Gatwick Express as just going to Gatwick. And then he started laughing, and he just said to me, "What's it called?" And I get it, but at the same time, it's sort of like, yes, it is the Gatwick Express, but it's not called the London to Gatwick Express.
Yeah.
Why is the Brighton to Gatwick bit less important? And it is the only direct train now, and it's not difficult to change. I mean, if you get the Littlehampton train, you can go all the way to Preston Park, so you're essentially all but 4 minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
So it's doable, but they won't tell you that, and it's annoying because a lot of people going from Victoria are. Oh, that's a traffic cone. Was that me honking?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, there are a lot of people who are commuting for work, and it seems like it's not important because of the people going to the airport. And then with another of my colleagues, we talk about all the people on the trains and the tube that we find like have no social etiquette, whether like feet on the seat.
Mind the
Yeah, feet on the seat, or you know, just the way they act, and like for example, he was going that way. He was saying he was on the Piccadilly line the other day, and a couple got on with all their large suitcases, and then just also put on some skiing equipment and just left it in the whole doorway,
Okay.
and didn't make any effort to move or say, "Oh, sorry," you know.
yeah.
And then I also brought up about how one time on the train home, because obviously there's only one of me, I only take up one seat, and this is so noisy. Yeah, someone got on. I guess there was no room in the luggage racks, or they were just too lazy to look. And there were two of them, so they couldn't put it next to them. So they just put the suitcase in the seat next to me. And I mean, okay, the room's there fine, I'm not taking that seat. But if someone then comes up and has a go at me for leaving my suitcase there, I then have to go, no, it's not my suitcase. And, you know, I found it a little bit disrespectful that they wouldn't even just say, "Oh, do you mind if I leave the suitcase?"
Yeah, yeah.
So I was saying that, and he said, "Oh, well, I would have just kicked it down the aisle, made a big scene." And then that day when I was going home, it was the day I was leaving early, and I'd only just got the train by a matter of like a minute or two. So I got on the top of the train and was going to walk. Sorry, go ahead.
Just very quickly, this inner ring track has a hill climb on one part of it, and if you go really quick on it, if you manage to align yourself, there's a bit of a kink into it. But if you align yourself and you're really quick, you can actually get a lot of air time.
Okay. Well, if you go first, I'll try and reenact that.
Okay. I mean, you can follow me just along. You can see me fly off, perhaps. We'll see. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I got on. There was this. I think they were French couple. It doesn't matter where they were from. Point is, they were tourists. They were going to Gatwick. They had all their suitcases, and they were really slowly going down the train. And I mean, yes, okay, I'm on the train. It doesn't matter. But it's sort of like, well, I want to get to the bottom and just get on the seat. I've had a long day, and they were really, really slowly going, and it was so painful. So just hurry up.
Yeah.
But eventually that side. Oh, whoops. Yeah, we get to a point where they decided they found some seats they liked. And I'm sorry, where are we going?
Hill climb.
I'm going faster than you.
On the left.
Ooh. On the left.
Here.
Oh, up there. Okay.
Here. Sorry.
Oh, I think I'm gonna hit.
I didn't see you.
I think I.
Where are you?
No, I don't know if I went in the air. I went over it, but I
Oh.
don't know if I went in the air or not.
Yeah, that was desync, I
24%
think.
damage. I took out all the
I
traffic
didn't
cones.
see you, sorry.
Yeah, due to the desync, you also took out Kango.
Oh, sorry.
And
I've just hit a tree. Oh,
Oh no. You can't
Oh,
get out.
Wait, where are
Tree.
you going?
Tree.
Oh, my.
You're in the
I'm
woods.
stuck with something.
You're in the woods.
Let's have a look. I'll finish my story and then I'll try and make my way out.
Yeah, go on.
But yeah, they found where they wanted to see, and what they did is they put their really expensive designer Gucci, Louis Vuitton, whatever bag on one pair of seats opposite, and then sat on the other side, took up the 2 seats. And I thought, firstly, okay, that's a bit cheeky, taking up 4 seats.
Yeah.
You know, put the bag on your lap. It's not difficult. And then when they sat down, and I thought, God, finally moved. I was like, I can finally speed up my pace. They just left their very large suitcases, 2 of them, in the middle of the aisle, and I had to squeeze past. I gave them a dirty look, and I went, you know, I gave a sigh and a tut, because, you know, that's what British people do.
Yeah.
But when I sat down, I remembered that conversation with my colleague earlier, and I thought, oh, it would have been so funny if I did just kick it down, like in the way he demonstrated, like was really sort of dramatic, and you know, like not just kicking it, but like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I wouldn't kick it down. I have more respect than that, but
Just they might call the British Transport Police for the damage.
6116.
Yeah. But you know, it was just that
Yeah,
principle of there
yeah.
are luggage racks. I know there were luggage racks with free space because I remember looking at them and thinking, oh, you could put your stuff there. But no, they just left it, and I just sort of like, really? It's, you know, it's
Yeah.
not just your train.
I totally get that, yeah.
But like, you know, I mean, I'm always tolerant, you know, and I appreciate people do things for reasons, and if I don't know that reason, doesn't mean they don't have one. But at the same time, you know, I with many of others, I've got this train because we've been working a long day, and we just want to get home. You know, we're not
Yeah.
going away on our holiday, or I suppose they were going home, and so we, you know, I don't mind it taking a little longer to get to the seat, but I do just want to sit down.
Jamie's in
And
chat.
so-
Hello.
Oh, hello, Jamie. Yeah, when they spend ages to just go down the aisle and then block, you know, they do say don't leave your bags in the aisle. It was just a sort of disrespect to anyone but themselves.
Yeah.
Wait to Try says, just imagine if you have mobility issues and people do that. Yeah.
Well, exactly. I mean, I'm always complaining about cars on the pavement because of that same issue. In fact, I had an argument with a car driver today. They were on the pavement, and I said, well, pavements are for people. Get off, essentially. To which he said to me, well, you're not a person. And I sort of looked at him like, okay. I said, okay, well, what am I then? And he just went, well, I don't know what you are. And I was just like, okay. I mean, I knew what he was like. He'd seen my bag and he'd go, "Oh, a rainbow! Oh, you're one of them. You're not a person." But like, it was just like the way of him going, "Well, you're not a person, are you?" And I'm like, okay, well, what am I then? You know, calling him out like, okay, if I'm not a person, you must know what I am. And just the way I went, oh, I don't know what you are. It just seemed so stupid.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
then his next point was, oh, I've got a disabled badge. I can park on double yellows. To which I thought, okay, well, if you've got a disabled badge, now obviously there are many different types of disabilities and not all are visible and so on. But if you've got a disabled badge, you must know a fair bit about disabilities
Yeah.
to know, okay, it's probably not great if your big car is blocking half the pavement
Yeah.
and nobody can get past. But he went, oh, I've got a disabled badge, I can park on double yellows. I said, yes, you can park on double yellows, although even that is only for a short period of time. He said, what you cannot do is park on the pavement. Now, technically, it isn't illegal, but morally it should be.
So, on that point,
Yeah.
well, did you want to say
Yeah.
something, Kango? Because there's all to chat.
Yeah, I mean, we are at the time limit now, but I would want to go on the jump again.
Okay, yeah.
Right,
I'll just like, really, really quickly finish the
Go
story.
on.
But yeah, he made this whole thing. I've got this badge, and I said, well, no, you can park on double yellows, but you can't block the pavement. Oh, well, that would block the road. And I thought, okay, so why is it okay to stop pedestrians from walking on the pavement, but not the cars? And that's the attitude they always have, is if they block the road and you have to walk in, if they block the pavement and you have to walk in the road to get around them, that's that's not okay. How dare a pedestrian be in the road? But they can have both. In the end, as I started to go off, I looked across the road and there was a large wide parking space. So I just pointed and went, "There's a space there." But it's just that mentality of, I can park wherever I want. But also, I would also think, if you do have a disability, maybe getting a huge Mercedes G-Wagon where you pretty much need a step ladder to get into it probably isn't the best car to have.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I'm always getting into arguments.
Yeah.
But it really annoys me that we let all of our free space just go to cars. Anyway, I'm bringing down the mood. Let's have fun by going over a speed ramp.
Yeah, so while you do that, I'm going to read chat, yeah?
Well, read first, then quickly say something, then we'll go.
Well, say now, because I can read chat while you're going.
So, just for everyone who doesn't know, so Emichu, for example, there's basically a test track in Washington State where they test their trucks before they actually go out on the roads and things. And basically, big circuit, there's a gravel thing, and there's a hill climb test right here. Hill climb, you can see. And if you go fast enough on the hill climb, then you can get some air here. So we're just about to do that.
Right, okay, so now while we are doing that, I'm going to reach out.
I'll try to go in front.
Yeah, so Emichu says it's illegal to have any wheels on the pavement. Any wheels. And then Waste the Try says that's just rude. Jamie says, didn't grow up from high school comebacks. And then also says, nope, double yellow lines are for everyone. That was a downright lie.
Well,
says Jamie.
I mean, obviously, Jamie, you know a lot more about driving rules than I do, but I had read that you can stop at a double yellow, not to park, but like if you have a disabled badge, you can sort of stay there within reason to load and unload a bit more than if you don't have one. In regards to pavement parking being illegal, I from what I understand, on a road without double yellows, it is legal. Well, at least here it is. They because the council have said they're trying to. Well, many years ago they tried to make it illegal on some roads, but never got the permission or something. It is illegal in London, although that doesn't stop them. But yeah, I mean, it should be illegal, but it still certainly happens a lot of the time.
So there is more chat.
Yeah, I mean, you know more about driving rules than I do, of course, so I don't want to be like, actually, when obviously you know the actual answer.
So there is more chat. So Waste Try says, got in an argument with a cab driver that was pushing through a crosswalk filled with people. I was like, everyone you drive, every customer, it's a pedestrian. And then Jamie says, points are out of time now. Yeah, well, there's not much we can do about that. Right. Okay, you're doing what you hate now. Because like we have gone past, so we need to make sure that what they want to do is that they can do while I'm reading chat, and chat doesn't hold up what they're gonna do. And then Jamie reiterates, he says, any wheels on pavement equals illegal anywhere in the UK.
That's okay, Jake. If you have it in like a screenshot of highway code or whatever, could you send that to me, please? Because it will very much help my case when I complain to Doug from Brighton and Hove City Council, and he says, "Oh, well, there's nothing we can do because we have to observe the vehicle for 5 minutes." I was like, that is just rubbish. I'm very close to just saying to him, look, if you give me the equipment, I'll issue the fines myself, and then with the money I get from those fines, you can invest in some cameras so you don't need to send people out. But I mean, yeah, it should just be illegal if you say it is. It's just wrong because you have wide roads and parking. Everything's concrete, and it's dangerous. I mean, yesterday I was crossing the road and there was a car. It was an island crossing, and I decided to go. I observed it and I went, okay, this is safe. I went across. I actually crossed the road, and then a car speeding up to me started honking at me for like, oh, how dangerous you crossed the road. I was like, but I was already across the road before they started honking, and it's just the attitude of you're not allowed to cross the road. You're not allowed to walk on the pavement. You're not allowed to do anything as a pedestrian anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wasted Try says, well, if they don't want to enforce, they'll find a reason. Also, we have gone...
Last one, last try,
one,
last
okay.
try. I'll give 7 cam so you can see the wheel. Not as much as I'd hoped. I got so much more before in multiplayer. I was just literally flying across.
Maybe I just didn't have the speed.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was disappointing.
But even with this, maybe also the truck perhaps, but even with the speed, it kind of breaks as soon as you go up the hill, because where it was really like a really strong curve upward. That's where it also breaks, so it loses the speed. So I don't know. I have got screenshots where it literally went flying off it. But yeah. I should share those on stream, hold on. But yeah, that's it. So I guess I'll end the convoy. That was a lot of fun though.
Yes, it was.
Okay. Right.
Also, just a thought. If D&D is having less players, possibly, I mean, obviously it depends on your availabilities, but what do you think of the idea of swapping it so D&D's on a Wednesday, and then on a Friday we could do general party games and things like that, in which Jamie would also be able to come along, and I can come along, and it's an opportunity for everyone. If we're doing open TTD on Saturdays, obviously that's not something Jamie would want to play, so it just gives us a chance to all be together.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We can discuss it on Discord again.
I'm not expecting you to just suddenly go in and say, yep, that's what we're doing. Obviously, arrange it properly, but just food for thought.
It's a good suggestion.
Yeah.
Here, I've got it. Hold on.
Jamie has, if you've got Twitch, if you open Twitch chat, Jamie has posted this snippet.
Also on.
Okay, I'll
244. I'll hold on. I'll quickly. I'll post it on Discord so.
Okay, alright.
So it's easier.
Oh gosh, you did get some airtime there, didn't you?
Yeah, that was ages ago when they first added it.
How did you, do you have a keybind for the photo mode? Because you got that
Yeah,
at the perfect time.
It's alpha, so it's the plus key, not on the numpad, but on the top, the alpha plus.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we do have to end now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, there's the thing that Amateur posted. Okay, right.
Thank you, Joe. Oh no, that says, you must not in London, should not elsewhere unless signs permit it. So that's because there's the sign, which actually weirdly looks like it says you can park on the pavement, but it actually means you can't with the red car and the black car.
Okay.
So it's the same way in about, it says you should stop for pedestrians to cross the road. It doesn't say you must.
Yeah.
And I suppose they can argue it in that wording, unfortunately. But it does literally say right there, can obstruct and inconvenience pedestrians in wheelchairs, visual impairments, prams and pushchairs. Exactly. It's. I've as I've said many times, on Old Shoreham Road in Brighton, really, really busy road, loads of traffic. There used to always be, every house there had to have their renovations at the same time for some reason. You'd have these huge vans, the large bed load backs to them, just on the whole pavement, and I'd watch people with prams struggle to get past. It was ridiculous.
Well,
anyway, sorry. Yes, I'm keeping you going.
We do have to go.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing I argue about every day, so I'm sure everyone's heard it a million times before.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for coming.
Yes, I mean, despite all my complaints about everything, I feel like that's all I do. It was a good stream. I enjoyed it.
It's all right. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot too. I'm glad you could unmute as well and things like that.
Yeah, sorry about the delay in that.
I'm glad it happened at all.
Yeah.
Glad it happened at all.
Mm,
So,
yeah.
thank you for coming again, and good night.